Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hi there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Series 8, Episode 45. Now, Chris, right up until the end, it was a bit of a slower episode today, but where would you like to start?
Well, Dave, let's start at the beginning. So we got rid of fucking Billy the Fish. He's on his way. See you later, pal. Dammy, I wouldn't have been upset if he'd have gone as well, but he stayed. And obviously Luke is still there, lurking in the background, Dave. But then it was the Summer and Danica thing. I'd said Danica was going to stay. You weren't sure whether it'd be Summer, and it could have gone either way. But I didn't like the framing of the camera work. I know it sounds really silly, but it went full on Towie. Like it was all pre-rehearsed the way the camera was, and they were all chatting, and it just didn't seem authentic. And why the girls were giving us this speech like as if they weren't going to pick Dammy, Dave, was utter fucking horseshit. Just pick him. See you later, Billy. You know, you've had a great time. You've done fuck all. You're a dick. On your way. And that's it. But it just, I don't know. It just seemed to, and you're right, it was very slow tonight up until the end, as you said. So, yeah, a bit of a weird one, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, Billy going, utter no-brainer. I don't even know why it was a discussion, to be honest. You know, for all that Dammy's done, he is an OG. He does have a connection with India. So, I don't know, I suppose they had to drag it out. And I'm convinced it is when they go out on location that it gives it this Towie feel. You know, they can't just maintain that villa feel, you know, with the fixed automated cameras, and I don't know why they overdo it on the production. But yeah, I mean, the reason I thought they might keep Summer is because she just not really had a chance, and I didn't really get the rationale. I mean, this is twice the girls have saved Danica, isn't it? You know, they saved her over, was it Antigone before? So I thought that one could have gone either way. She had plenty of chances. It's not come off for her. So I thought, to be honest, Summer can feel herself a bit unlucky, really. You know, she's been pulled into the villa, but it does seem that Summer is now over.
You've been waiting for that
one. Thanks, I'm here all week. Of course we're here all week. We're fucking week 7 into our daily, not daily podcast.
Hey, Dave, what about the little fishing hook I sent out for you?
Oh, you utter. See you next Tuesday. I bite every time, don't I? So I'm a muppet. Do you want to share what episode 1 we've watched as well, just as a side thing?
We've watched episode 1 of Love Island USA, my friend.
I did find it on Daily Motion, and then it was about 8 o'clock last night. I'd sorted all tea out and everything. I had that, and then I just stood there. I was like, oh, bastard. And you'd been egging me on, goading me all day. I was like, right, okay, I'll watch it then. But not committing to the whole bloody series. But anyway, Chris, I'm sure we will find some time to give our thoughts on that in a separate episode, I'm sure. So, I mean, I'm struggling to think, what else happened last night?
Well, I think we are scraping the barrel here, but India called Danica Deji.
Oh,
she was quite good.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah. And he did take it quite funny. He did say to her, I'm sure if I'd said it, I'd called you Summer, it'd have been a whole different thing, you know what I mean? But there is a bit of baggage there in the sun. It was quite humorous. And Gemma's quite funny because she's like, oh, fuck, goes out the room, comes back in. Well, you know, and I was just like, oh, but it didn't escalate. I thought that was going to be a big, like, sticking point. But Dammy seems to just take it in good fun. He was laughing, saying, oh, I can't even look at it now and all this, you know, like, I can't believe you just said that. So I think that was it. But yeah, I struggled tonight, Dave. I don't think there was anything that really stood out. It was an hour long. It wasn't an extra long episode, even though I keep getting called out on Discord for me telling everyone how long the episodes are, Dave, you know, just to keep everyone interested. That's stick I'm going. But Dave, in fact, I know what we can talk about, Dave. We've got an announcement. You have a new T-shirt for your weird cult that you're trying to create.
Well, this was actually Gillian who posted in the Discord, and she was saying she'd put a whole Casamorian design up. So it was actually, if you watch the Star Wars spin-off shows, there's a Mandalorian series, and you got Baby Yoda, who's just about the cutest thing, and you'll have done well if you've not seen this somewhere. It's been huge, hasn't it, over the last couple of years? And so I thought, oh, yeah. No, I kind of put that into our format and put a little T-shirt design up and nabbed myself a T-shirt, Chris. So that's hopefully on its way. I think I'm not sure what the intersection of, Mandalorian fans and Love Island fans are. I think there might be about 3 people, but I'm certainly in there. I'm sure you are as well. Although not necessarily a Casamorian fan, but that did make me chuckle, I must admit. But I tell you one thing, Chris. So I was a bit surprised, but I did have utmost respect for Deji, because he had the HR chat with Danica, and she'd had a go at Billy. She'd given Deji no signs at all. Deji had put all his eggs in that basket for a day or two. But then he just wasn't really feeling it anymore. So appreciated him being upfront, appreciated him not just coupling up for the sake of it. There was a chance there was a moment in time, but then it's gone. I mean, what did you make of that?
It was almost like people knew there was new people coming in, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was before.
You would say that.
Yeah. And that's before we had the official announcement. Whether this was filmed around it and they've just edited stuff in, I don't know. But yeah, it did seem a bit weird, because I thought, well, if Deji wants to stay in, and he obviously isn't playing the game that most of them are playing, he's just there. He wants to find someone, or he wants to have a holiday. The wise move for him would have been to get with Danica. So it's interesting. I mean, she's got a lot of airtime recently, and I don't think she's done any harm. I know we get like the HR speeches and all that stuff, and it's quite funny the way she deals with things. But with the new people coming in, Dave, and I wasn't sure we'd get them coming in, I was thinking, I'm not sure I'm buying into what they're trying to sell here. I mean, I'll tell you what, Dave, actually, I know we're talking about Deji, but what did you think about what Dami did to Davide and Ekinsu when they came in, the new Bombshells?
In what respect?
Well, obviously, he could have picked Deji to say, why don't you take the new girls round because he's single? But no, Dami goes straight to Davide. We'll take them round, show them round. And Ekinsu's face was fucking thunder, Dave.
Yeah, it was. Now, and Davide's kind of in his element as well. And the new girls, very much liking Davide. He is this, Italian god, isn't he? I don't know. It smelt a little bit tactical to me. Yes. I don't think him and Luca, since they had that little spat a few weeks ago in Casa Amor, they have really seemed to grow, mostly over the joint hatred of Tasha and bullying, but they seem to grow together. So I think if you're looking around at the couples, Casa Amor is in the rearview mirror. You must be getting close to the end. We know these are all students of Love Island, so they know what the format is, and they know there's going to be a few little surprises, but they're only going to be little ones. By the time you hit the end, you're in the home straight. It's now tactical. You're in there and you are competing against the other couples. So I do think it was a bit tactical to just point them Davide's way and see if he could create a bit of drama there.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Davide was loving it, wasn't he? I must admit, Dave. He wasn't exactly resisting with his arm up his back. But, I mean, all the people have come in, all 4 of them are good looking, all 4 people, the two guys, the 2 girls. But I do think like this, Natalia, she knows what she's doing. She even mentioned to Davide, you're taking us straight up onto the balcony. I won't be crawling. And I'm like, here we go. But, yeah. But I must admit, I was like, don't you dare split them up, because I do think her and Ekin-Su and Davide are proper sweet together, Dave. And Ekin-Su's prettier than Natalia, I will say that. And that doesn't mean anything, but I just think, from my point of view, I think she's very pretty. And Natalia is, but it just doesn't, I don't think, she just looked to me like she was just too desperate to make an impact very quickly. We might change in tomorrow's episode, but I wasn't buying it. It just felt too much, too forced, like it was a plan. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but I don't know. It wasn't sitting right with me the way they come in. And I know they've got to do that because they've got a short space of time. But it could be a case of, see you later, Felicia, we're gone. All four of them are just gone completely.
They've come in so late though, haven't they? They have to come in a bit like a whirlwind to make a dent in anyone. I don't think they'll disrupt Davide and Ekin-Su. I think they do that themselves more than anything. And I do think they'll. We might have a bit of drama. Ekin-Su definitely did have a face like thunder, but ultimately, I don't think she's got anything to really worry about. And I think they'll probably just laugh it off at some point. But yeah, and then the guys, well, who are they going to disrupt? They're not going to disrupt Paige and Adam. Luca and Gemma seem pretty much impenetrable. Although, did you see Luca's face when they said one of them? I can't remember the names now, but they said one of them was a showgirl.
Yes, I did see that.
Massive fucking Billy style shit-eating grin on him. I thought that was interesting. He's so coupled up and in love with his chokehold on Gemma.
Chokehold, it's so bad. I did see, Dave. We did see that Gemma's mum commented on some of on Natasha's official page, didn't we? Saying this is definitely verging on bullying. And she's not been in. Now, we know Michael Owen's not going in. Gemma's daddy said that. I'm not going in. But it doesn't matter by the sounds of it. And Mum Louise is just going to... I hope she comes in and tears one off Luca, like they did with... it was Moira's mum, wasn't it, when she came in and had to go with Curtis. I hope that they hold him accountable and say, like, some of the things you've done, fucking terrible sort of thing. So let's see on that. But that's a nice bit of tea, Dave. And I'm sort of looking forward to the parents one now, thinking hopefully he becomes held accountable.
Oh, honestly, when I saw that, I was so happy. I was thinking, he's going to be in for a rough ride. And I did think that the language was supportive without being completely damning of Luca and Dami, really, wasn't it? The bullying, that's all it could have meant. But
it's true.
No, that was good. And So just rounding off the Davide and Ekin-Su, I think they'll be absolutely fine. And I have to say, Chris, when I look around at the different couples, I think even though I know this is the biggest fucking Hail Mary and it's the biggest long shot and win for the reality radar, I think even I'm rooting for them. It's just the banter. I mean, it gets a bit far when it's just him taking the piss, but when they're taking the piss out of each other, I do like that. And so, I think, and I kind of felt really for Andrew and Tasha. They didn't really have too much airtime tonight, but over the last week, the way they've kind of doubled down and basically said piss off to everyone else and they're happy with each other. I think that's that's had me warm into them as well. So those are the two couples for me.
Dave, you're
gonna say, I thought you were gonna say that Tasha's head is gonna turn with the new guys.
Oh yeah, we're leading into that, my friend. So I've got a theory that in true Love Island style, I don't want them to, because I do think they've come over all these obstacles. We've been critical of Tasha, I think quite rightly, and we talked about it yesterday. I just think, Dave, when them shiny new toys are in the villa, and if they potentially take her on a date, we might have a repeat of everything else that's come before.
I am going to go out on a limb and say we won't. Now, if they take Tasha on a date, she'll have a good time. She'll smile. She'll, be chatty. She'll be a little bit flirty. But I don't think it's a completely different context to the dates before. It's still quite early in the relationship, the Love Island quote unquote relationship. And I think with what they've been through, I think has drawn them closer together. So I don't think we'll see the same from Tasha if she does get pulled on a date now.
No, it's just me being mischievous, Dave. I don't, to be honest, but I'm just being mischievous.
Just so you can do 180. Just throw it out there, just so you can turn around tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the one. So, Dave, I think I'm exhausted on everything for today's episode. I knew it'd be a bit of a short one. Have you got anything else to add before we go into our one and only email?
We said, didn't we? It's obviously right up until the end. It was a slower episode, a bit of a damp squib at the start, wasn't it? With the voting, the only thing was, would Danica or Summer go? But ultimately, neither of them were in a relationship, so it didn't really matter which. And then we had a bit of fluff in the middle, and then it was a little bit relieving, though. It was a bit nice in a way to just have a slower episode. But But now, if we get to the email,
let's go. Yeah. So this one's from our good friend Chris and Dave, and it says, "Chris and Dave's Therapy Cast." Hi, Chris and Dave.
Did you just say this is from our good friend Chris and Dave?
No, Kristen.
Oh, sorry. It's the line.
Hey, don't be taking the piss out of the Manchester accent now. There's no need.
Sounded like... Sorry. Just go ahead. It's not a great line.
Let me do my thing. How dare you? Right. Anyway, how? Fucking hell. Sorry. Hi, Chris and Dave. I'm a little behind on Love Island because the misogyny and poor behaviour from the boys is getting depressing. Thank you for your commitment to calling out their bullshit, as it truly feels like group therapy, and I can relax knowing that it's not just me who is fuming at Luca, Dami, and their ilk. I'm starting to think or hope that the only reason India and Gemma are staying with their boys is because production need couples to force a romantic storyline onto. Sick to death of the fake apologies too. Sincerely, a disenfranchised viewer, Kristen. So thank you, Kristen. It wasn't from Chris and Dave, by the way. Brilliant email. And I think that's how we felt yesterday, Dave, wasn't it, where we were talking?
Yeah. And, we did get a bit serious, but then, it was a serious subject. I think all of the Ofcom complaints and everything validate that as well. Seem to get a lot of those around this time of year. So certainly movie night last year was eventful, wasn't it? Got a lot of complaints there. But no, spot on.
Good stuff. So as always, guys, big thank you to everyone who supports us. Get over to Chris and A's Reality TV Cast on Facebook. I'm pretty sure we're getting in 300 people over there. Loads of discussion, loads of lovely people helping each other find the shows, everything. Plenty of discussion on Love Island USA. Just thought I'd throw it in there. Anyway, if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. At this point, Dave probably wants to actually throw something at me quite blunt, because you keep mentioning USA Love Island, but it's all done.
It sounds like blunt.
Very good. I'll let you know. If you want to go over to Patreon, patreon.com/CD Realitycast if you want to support us. Thank you to everyone who supports us, past and present. So today's roll call of honour is Kate, Annabeth, Gavin, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Tom, Gillian, Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Neve, Jacqueline, Noreen, Amy, Joanna, Helen, Libby, Katie, Dee, Hannah, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Haley, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys, as always. Great stuff. Please go over to Facebook with some loads of discussions, some good fun over there. You can even see the Casamorian design that David has put together. We are going to have a vote. What was the best thing about this series? Is it the Casamorians, or is it obviously the Reality Radar? So we will be putting that poll up very soon.
I think I might have to frame the question a little bit differently there, because let's face it, the Casamorians have been shat on this year, haven't they? I mean, have we got any left? I mean, Deji's left. But
yeah, Deji, that's
it, isn't it?
Casamorians, I love
that. So maybe which design do you like best? Maybe that'll be the question.
Yeah, that's the one. I'll let you off with that, Dave. No, very good, mate. Very good.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, sir. Thanks to everyone out there for listening and supporting us. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.